Hey, Alagio. First of all, I'd like to apologize if my voice sounds a bit broken. I've had a cold and my voice hasn't really recovered. Last week, I've asked in Instagram stories if you have some questions about me or my brand or my small business, and I'll do my best to answer everyone. The first one is, what's your favorite cat breed? I will have to say just the regular domestic cat. If I'm getting a new pet, I will always adopt. I'm a bit interested in the hairless cats because if you have a lot of cats, there's a lot of cat hair everywhere and it gets a bit annoying to clean, so I will choose a hairless cat. And the next question is highly appropriate to continue with. Your biggest inspiration? I would say that my biggest inspiration are animals, especially animals that I've seen or I have like a deep connection with, like cats, but as well, like if I see a wild animal, like, I don't know, a falcon comes to mind or an owl, I do have like a need to paint it. It's hard to explain, but I do feel it a bit on a spiritual level, like I connect better to the animal if I'm painting it. It sounds a bit crazy, but it is what it is. So animals are my biggest inspiration, and then obviously nature. I'm super into nature. I love hiking, I love spending time in nature, so that's it. I do get some inspiration from folk tales and stuff like that too. Favorite place to work at? Obviously my studio. I don't feel comfortable working anywhere else. Most of the time I work behind my desk, but sometimes I do work on the couch and I'm watching some show or something like that. Embarrassing story you experience while working. The most embarrassing stories for me are usually connected to communicating with other people. So in customer service, like if I'm replying to messages from a customer, or like recently I had like this business deal, and since I do think that I speak English on a okay level, but my native language is Croatian, so sometimes I say something or I read something and the context in Croatian would sound completely different, and so I think of one thing and the other person thinks of another. Like recently I had this business deal and I was very excited about it, and I thought that I communicated my excitement and how much I would like to do it. Then we went on talking about the actual prompt that I'll do, and I kind of replied, oh yeah, I will think about it, and that's it. And the conversation totally stopped, and I thought to myself, oh yeah, we made a deal, I will think about the prompt and that's it. And then weeks passed and I haven't heard back. So I went into those messages and I realized that my last response was, oh yeah, I will think about it. And it kind of sounded, yeah, I will think about the deal, I will think about working with you. So obviously I'm not a great communicator. I did message the company later on and I apologized and I said, I'm sorry if that sounded wrong. I do want to work with you. It's just like a language barrier. And they were super nice and we did end up doing a good collaboration, so it ended good. Can you tell us more about veganism and activism and how it inspires you? I love this question. Thank you so much for asking it. So I became a vegetarian 15 years ago, something like that, and then I became a vegan like a couple of years ago. That's a super big part of my life because I don't consider it just like to be a choice of food, but it literally impacts everything in my life and everything that I do. I've always felt very connected to animals. Ever since I was a little girl, like my grandfather used to own sheep. We didn't eat them, like they were more, their use was more like of a land mower. They used to eat the grass around the olive trees, and like he had like this very special bond with them, and he really loved them a lot. They were super scared of me, and like I don't think that I ever touched one, but I felt so connected to them, like even though they kept their distance. And like later on, I don't know, having pets and animals in the house, I don't know, it was always a big part of me, and I think it impacts all of my life, and as well it impacts my art, and I think it's the main reason why I draw so many animals. What music do you listen to while working? I usually watch YouTube, artist vlogs, or such YouTube channels, or like lately, especially if I'm doing ceramics, I will watch like TV shows. Like the last couple of weeks, I'm super into British crime dramas, so I'm watching that while I work.
Unless it was closer than thought like maybe shine down on that or phone.
You obviously love animals, so what is your spirit animal and why? I love that all these questions are about animals. Thank you so much. I enjoy talking about animals. My spirit animal is a wolf. I have no idea why. I always felt it was a wolf. I always knew it was a wolf, and I know it's a wolf. That's all I can say. How did you find the courage to say fuck it and pursue your art dream career? I think that it sort of came with, getting older, because I kind of felt like if I'm not going to do it now, like I'm never going to do it, and like I will regret it. When did you start making clay figures, and what made you want to work with that medium? So I started working with clay in my mid-20s. By then I've totally given up on drawing, and I wanted some outlet for my creativity, and I saw this like ceramics course in Zagreb, and I decided, I will apply, and I have been doing that for a couple of years. Then I got my parents to buy me the kiln, and yeah, then I messed everything up with the glazes, and I haven't turned it on for like 7 or 8 years, and like I'm now doing it again, and I'm very happy. What color pencils do you use? Do you think artist ones are essential, or do cheap ones work just as well? I work with Prismacolor color pencils, and I think that they're amazing. When I started this art journey, I had like no idea. I even didn't know like there are special kind of watercolors. I just thought, those $5 ones are good enough. When I was watching my favorite artists work, I would see them use some color pencils, and like they would have like this smoothness to them, and like they would add a lot of texture, and I couldn't figure out how to make that with just regular color pencils, and I couldn't make that because it's impossible now. I know that. So I saw there's a lot of them. I think Lee Alexson and Pretty Little Peach. I don't know who else. A lot of them used Prismacolor. I couldn't buy Prismacolor in Croatia, so I actually got a friend of mine to buy them for me in Germany, and I did get the professional ones. Some of the colors, they're super expensive, so obviously I didn't get many, and I was mind blown by them. Then later on I ordered on Amazon Prismacolor's color package, and honestly there isn't much of a difference. I'm talking about the Prismacolors because I haven't used any other, but its color version is almost just as good. I mean, there is some difference, but for my use and for like what I need, I would buy these color ones. If there is anything else you'd like to know, you can ask me in the comments here or Instagram or anywhere you would like. As well, I would like to ask you something. YouTube doesn't show me who my subscribers are, and like if you like the video, I don't get a notification who did that. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm talking to a void here. I don't know, if you don't mind, maybe you could leave a comment, like you can put just an emoji or something like that, just so that I know that there are real people watching this.